The Holy Book, Sefer Hayashar, Episode 51. It is written, "And let your camp be holy." Devarim 23.15. Just as there is a border surrounding the various hosts and camps of the Shekhinah, all of whom are called holy, so too the body and limbs of a human being comprise of a camp, which is sanctified. It's also called the camp of the Shekhinah. Thus it is written, "And I will be sanctified in the midst of the children of Israel." Vayikra 22.32. "And I will dwell among them." Shemos 25.8. But if a person heads in a bad direction, he brings into himself the camp of the Sitra Achra. Therefore, one should develop a habit of reciting this brief prayer. Master of the universe, cause me to merit becoming a throne for the Shekhinah. For when the body is sanctified, it becomes the throne of the Shekhinah, which is a tremendous longing to settle upon the bodies of the righteous. Whereas if a person perverts his ways, the opposite occurs, heaven forbid. This is a concept is mentioned in the Zohar Parshas Noach 68b in connection with the verse, "And the water bore up the ark, and it was raised upon the earth." Bereshit 7.17. That is, when there are sinners in the world, the Shekhinah abandons the earth. The Shekhinah is called an ark, a teva, because if one changes the order of the letters of the word teva, it spells out the word Beis Hashem, the house of Hashem. The same passage elaborates on some of the ways in one can sanctify the body, the primary one being through studying Torah as much as possible. It is especially important to study at night, just before going to sleep. Thus, it is related in Medrash Hanelam, Zohar Chadash 30b, in the name of Rabbi Yehuda. Every night, Metat, the prince of the countenance, takes the souls of all who study Torah and displays them before the Holy One, blessed is He. The ministering angels delay singing their song of praise until the souls of the righteous join with them, and then they all sing together to God on high. Another strategy for sanctifying one's body is to be very meticulous in the reciting of Shema, pronouncing it with great concentration, one word at a time. For the Shema contains 248 words corresponding to the 248 limbs of the body, and it is taught in Zohar Chadash 5.9a that if a person recites the Shema properly, each word bestows its influence upon the corresponding limb. But if one recites it hastily and carelessly, while thinking about other matters so that his mind does not realize what his mouth is saying, then every limb draws upon the Sitra Achra. This causes his body to be afflicted with illness and suffering, all because he is not careful to recite the Shema with concentration. To understand why this is so, one must first know what is written in the book Kli Chemda on Parshas Bereshis, Drash 2. There it is taught that just as a man's 248 limbs and 365 sinews correspond to and are subordinate to the 248 positive and 365 negative commandments, so too the various lands and places in the world correspond to and are subordinate to the positive and negative commandments. This is true of the beasts and the birds as well. They too are apportioned among the limbs of the human body and are subordinate to the corresponding commandments. Thus, the scholars of earlier generations have said that the scorpion is under the dominion of the commandment of the circumcision. The proof to this is that if the foreskin of an infant who has never experienced an emission is placed upon the wound of a scorpion, the pain abates and the danger passes. Another amazing remedy to be aware of is the placing of an infant's foreskin in the mouth of a newborn to prevent him from ever suffering from epilepsy. A person should also know that if he accepts his afflictions with love and affection, then those very afflictions will refine, purify, and sanctify his body to a great extent. It is explained in the Zohar in Parsha Shalach 168a that the human soul is likened to a lamp. When a lamp does not give off sufficient illumination, the usual procedure is to shake it a little until it burns properly. This is effective, however, only if the lamp is of high quality. If it is of low quality, such shaking will cause it to be extinguished altogether. Similarly, when someone sins, his soul ceases to illuminate his body as it should. Therefore, the Holy One, blessed is He, brings upon him afflictions to shake him up. If he accepts them lovingly, his soul returns to radiating, even greater than before. But if he does not accept them with love, then he is not illuminated even as much as before. On the contrary, the afflictions only make him worse, causing indictments to be raised against him until he plummets to the depths of Gehenna. Let the one who fears the word of Hashem choose life, then all will be well with him.